Hey, welcome back everyone. We are now in the final days of February of 2022, and once we go into March, that's when the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series marketing run begins. In mid to late of that month, of course, we have a lot of things coming our way for the Kenobi TV series, such as the official trailer, some new posters that are going to drop next month, as well as Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen unveiling more aspects of the new TV series that's going to drop on May 25th. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things from time to time and really make sure to interact with you guys further. So, everything related to Hayden Christensen in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, we already know that he is indeed coming back as both Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. In fact, Ewan McGregor confirmed this just a couple of days ago, that he is back as Anakin, so that most likely connects to some of the leaks that we talked about a couple of days ago, if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. Now, on top of all of this, what's really intriguing about everything related to both, of course, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas is that they are really going above and beyond to make the fans happy. Now, though they weren't as involved with the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, they will be involved with those characters actually being implemented in future Star Wars shows as well. And that brings us all forward to, of course, Disney CEO Bob Chapek, which, by the way, is making all of this a possibility, making this all into a reality, allowing everybody to do their thing with Star Wars. Now, that's one thing that I think we got to give Chapek a lot of credit for, is the fact that he is allowing George, John, and Dave to do their work on the mandoverse, on other Star Wars eras as well, that will be implemented into the overall Star Wars brand. Now, specifically, of course, given that the Ahsoka Tano series is moving along well into production, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively building the Star Wars universe from the ground up in order to make the brand better than ever before with the help of George Lucas by their side. Now, it's described, however, that recently, Disney CEO Bob Chapek has been making some important decisions for the future of Star Wars, and especially for Disney+. Now, it's described that recently Bob Chapek just greenlit a Star Wars project that is set to center around the character of Darth Vader, that takes place in a post-Order 66 era, and is set to take place before the events of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series in order to fill in more gaps to the Star Wars universe. Now, it's noted that this is set to be labeled as a Darth Vader-oriented TV show that is in the early development phase, and that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is set to be Disney's way to tease of what's to come for more Vader material in live-action form. Not only will Vader appear in Kenobi and Andor, but Disney is pushing for his very own series to arrive as soon as 2026 on Disney+, with Vader appearing in multiple TV shows beforehand to really build up the hype for the character. Now, one thing that, of course, Chapek, we gotta really also give him a lot of credit for is the fact that he really is kind of giving the fans exactly what they've been asking for so many years now. We can see this turnaround, we can see this big change in the Star Wars universe. Moving on. So, however, the early plans are that the show will not be entirely focused on Vader, however, but scattered and hidden Jedi across the entire galaxy in this post-Order 66 timeline, where Vader is going to be considered the main villain in the series that will focus on the Jedi that Chapek is to make the series heavily based on the Vader comics that were released back in 2018, and how they can use that as reference material to create a brutal TV show featuring the Dark Lord of the Sith. So if you guys have not checked out the Vader comics, not just from 2018 but other years, I do heavily acknowledge the fact that everything related to the Vader TV show, and in comparison to the Vader comics, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how accurate everything is going to be. Now, they're not necessarily basing it off of the comics, but they're using the comics as reference material, in a sense, in order for themselves to kind of give us that brutal version of Vader, that real violent and dark version of Vader, and we will be getting that in the Kenobi show. But they want to take things up a notch, take things up to a different level for Vader in his own Star Wars TV series. Now, that's one thing to actually be very excited about, is the fact that Vader is not just going to be appearing in Kenobi, he's also going to be appearing in Andor seasons 1 through 3 to really set everything up for the Kenobi TV series that they plan to drop in 2026, and they are planning to unveil this, officially speaking, at Star Wars Celebration of 2023 next year. So moving on beyond all of this, now, of course, actor Hayden Christensen was already approached on if he would like to return to portray Vader in this early project, and Hayden is said to be all down for the role and to return as an unmasked version of Vader. Now, Disney's plan is to make this an event series and not a multi-season show. However, in order to increase the budget and make it feel very cinematic and movie-like for the Star Wars fandom, Disney is looking to actually make the show take place 1 to 5 years after the events of Episode 3 to really give it a younger version of Vader that was only teased in Revenge of the Sith, and to show fans Vader in his true prime. Now, though the Kenobi series will be doing just that, Disney wants to take things up a notch by showing fans the real early days of Anakin as Darth Vader, taking Jedi down across the entire galaxy. Now, Lucasfilm already actually proposed a big plan to insert many big-name cameos in the planned Vader series from the prequel trilogy movies that would be used for Vader to not only face, but for characters that will be beneficial to the Jedi portion of this story. The Vader project is currently dubbed simply as Project Crimson, and could very well be a reference or, of course, nod to Vader's crimson lightsaber blade that so many fans grew up with for many years to come. Now, this is a very interesting addition, is the fact that they really are trying to go all out by using some of the TV shows to branch out to characters getting their own TV shows. It's very much like with what they did with Ahsoka, right? Ahsoka Tano appeared in the Mandalorian series, she's now in the Book of Boba Fett series, and she's getting her very own show in 2023. Essentially what they're doing here is a very similar process. Vader's going to first appear in Kenobi, he's going to later appear in Andor, and then eventually they're going to branch that out to him getting his own event series. Again, I say event series because it's considered a limited TV show. It could be a 4-episode TV series, it could be a 6-episode TV series for all we know in 2026. But nonetheless, it is not going to be a multi-season show. It's going to be a event series specifically, and that's it. So that's one thing to really be aware of, is that they really want to make sure that it's just going to be an event series. Some fans might consider that as being unfair. I, however, think it might be a smart move because you don't want to use too much Vader. You don't want to make, the character, take off that mysterious kind of persona. And yes, they will be unmasking him in Vader, both literally and figuratively, in the Kenobi series. But I think the fact that if you use Vader way too much as a multi-season show, it might make things a little bit more difficult to really see him as that mysterious, troubled character. So I think that them going for a limited show or an event series that features Vader, it's kind of smart because he's going to be appearing multiple times in other Star Wars shows anyway to begin with, so it kind of compensates. So overall, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.